Everyone take a silly bus and pass it to the amigo behind you.
Hey man, what the hell do you think you're doing?
Yeah.
Mr. Cartmenes is here to make sure you all get into college.
Getting into college? Man, we ain't getting no college. F you.
How do I reach these kids? The reason that you think you can't get into college is because you haven't been taught how to cheat properly. How do you think white people always get ahead? Because we cheat all the time. I mean, because they cheat all the time. This is Bill Belichick, coach of the New England Patriots. He's won 3 Super Bowls. How? He cheated. He even got caught cheating, and nobody cared. Bill Belichick proved that in America it's okay to cheat as long as you cheat your way to the top.
Hey, I don't want to be called a cheater.
No. If you cheat and fail, you're a cheater. If you cheat and succeed, you're savvy.
All right, welcome back. Not a sport. Oof. So I woke up yesterday morning to see that the new Final Fantasy Ultimate raid, or Omega Ultimate, my bad, got cleared, and it took them about 6 days, and it was really cool. It was like, okay, cool, it got cleared, and it got cleared by a group who didn't stream it, who didn't post the ending clear VOD or anything like that. They just post the final scene where it's the chest and all that and said, hey, we cleared it. It was a Japanese group. They were named unnamed, I believe, and they cleared it. Congratulations. Am I right? Well, now, less than 24 hours later, as I was going to bed, a clip released of them using add-ons and cheats to cheat to clear the raid. And it was just hilarious to me. Because earlier in the year, or earlier last year, when the first Ultimate Raid came out for this expansion, Dragonsong Reprisal, the Red Mage, who was in the group, Neverland, who is currently number 2 and now in this ranking, or maybe he was using add-ons as well to kind of cheat. He was using add-ons to keep track of your buff timers on party members, to show where things were gonna hit, I think, beforehand as well as the DPS meter act, right? And the community was kind of skeptical about this, and they took that VOD down and they re-uploaded a different VOD from a different player's point of view, and it caused a whole bunch of community backlash about add-ons, where a lot of players were getting banned for add-ons, just showing on stream, because add-ons are technically illegal. You're not supposed to have them in Final Fantasy XIV. They're third party. You're not supposed to have them at all. So they're a form of cheating, I guess. So, you know, people were getting banned for them. And Square Enix came out, Yoshi P came out, he did his whole statement about it, and I was kind of hoping it's the end of it for a while, and we wouldn't have to deal with this until, like, maybe next expansion or next year, which is why it was so funny to see that these guys cheated at the current raid. And it was bad. Like, whole bunch of Japanese fans do what Japanese fans do, and they attack you, or they were like mass reporting NA players and streamers and stuff like that. It was ridiculous when it happened the first time. But, you know, Neverland kind of got a slap on the wrist. They, you know, and everyone went on about their day. Here we are, and they cheated again. And I'm going to show the cheats, and we're going to go over all of that. I just want to give a quick history lesson. And now Yoshi P came out again, said that they were getting punished. They did. These guys were getting attacked consistently on the Japanese servers. They did an apology, kind of blaming the Western servers. Basically, the mentality is, hey, they're using third-party tools, they're cheating, so we have to cheat also. You know, same mentality of like, they're using steroids, so we have to use steroids. It's ridiculous at the end of the day. And is disrespectful to the developers, to the designers who designed the fight, who obviously they know that the fight can be cleared, otherwise they wouldn't release it, right? And Final Fantasy, they have their way of balancing and QA testing these fights. And, you know, these guys feel the need to cheat because of it. So, I thought immediately of the South Park meme.
Way to the top.
Hey, I don't want to be called a cheater.
No, no. If you cheat and fail, you're a cheater. If you cheat and succeed, you're savvy.
I'm sure I'm gonna play it at the opening of this video. You know, Tom Brady cheated, and if you cheat and you get caught, then you're a cheater. But if you cheat and you succeed, then you're savvy. Yeah, I just thought that was really funny. And Neverlandis, they cheated and they succeeded and they're savvy. But these guys cheated and they failed and they're cheaters. So let's get into I guess I want to say why they cheated, right? Because this content is the hardest content in the game. It's meant to be hard. And personally, as a gamer, someone who's rated with Final Fantasy XIV, played Final Fantasy XIV, who's plugged for Final Fantasy XIV, Final Fantasy XIV players are absolutely terrible. I just want to say that, like, they're not good at video games. So when it comes to hard content, of course they're gonna cheat. I'm okay with add-ons that like DPS meters for personal gain. I used that. I used buff timers. Like, I think I used that when I was raiding too. And then I used something just to see like the tick rate, because Black Mage is extremely technical job and you needed it to do a certain special rotation. So I used like that, but I never used the cheats that the Unwanted group used to clear the raid, or just to figure out mechanics, or to see where things were getting, where explosions were happening beforehand. That's considered to be straight up cheating. But a DPS meter, buff timers, which they now have added into the game, things like that were more quality of life, just to make my life and my experience in the game a little bit easier and better than if I was just doing it raw. But I would never use actual cheats like these guys. And Final Fantasy XIV players, I think, are very bad at the game. They're very bad at pugging things and figuring out, and it's very frustrating. It's kind of why my first and only at this moment raid group died and took so long to clear Phoenix, because these guys just cannot figure it out. They are, you know, casual people that have families that only log on to the game to do story stuff and to roleplay or cosplay and buy a house. You ask any of my friends who have played the game and played the game with me, they know that I am not that type of player. I don't have a house in FF14. I never cared about a house in FF. I never cared about social stuff. I've only cared about grinding what I want to grind and clearing content, which is why, like, I'm like one of the only people that I know or have seen who have all the crafting weapons, for example, right? Because I wanted weapons to show that, you know, I'm a better player, or that I grinded this out and took the time to do this than you did. And that's just me. That's just how I like to play. So let's get into now the footage, right? Since the race for World First is still going on, and that I've finished the history lesson and my experience with FF14 players. So here's the group in question. They took off the tweet, the screenshot now, so you can't see it. But here are the group in question that cleared the raid first. This is unnamed, right? That's their group name. Japanese guild, and it got leaked by one of their 9th party members, so someone who would coach them or who would watch them play and take notes and mechanics and stuff like this. That's how it got leaked. And here's the cheat in question. And there's kind of a couple of them in here, So before I make it full screen, you can see there's the act meter. So DPS acts, so you could see like everyone's DPS and stuff like that, and also their cooldowns. He has that there too. That's to me, that's completely fine. That's just personal quality of life stuff. I like having the information. I like seeing how much damage I am doing and if I'm contributing and how I personally can become a better player. That was how I always rated. When I first got my raid group, they said I wanted to do Reaper. I was practicing on Reaper. They're like, we need a caster. I decided Black Mage. We cleared it. I learned Black Mage ground up day one, which is the hardest class in the game. And seeing my DPS really helped me personally do it. So that's perfectly okay for me, right? Buff timers too. Okay, that's fine as well. So what is not okay? So if we watch the video, and there are tons of funny memes. This is probably as far as the camera goes on average. And then they use a zoom hack. They go way out like this. So the 9th person, the coach, can now see everything. This is cheating. Like, this to me is hardcore cheating. They just zoom all the way out. The FOV is now larger, and they get more information than they are allowed to have. No, so like that's like, you know, hard no. Now if that was a bug and they were just abusing a bug, I think for me that would be a different story. Where if you're abusing a bug, that's not on you. That's more being smart. That you are figuring out how to, you know, use a bug, that the developers are there. And if it's a known bug and the developers known about it and they say, hey, if you use it then this is cheating, or you know about it, it's whatever, that's on us. That's on the developers, in my opinion, not on the players. So I know like that kind of happens a lot in World of Warcraft. So then the dude and then this is the other cheat where if you do it on the black screen, you can see the dots, which are each player's hitbox, their individual hitbox. So that's another cheat that they were using through add-ons. And then they did apology. Basically what I was saying, we're like, hey, we did this because the West was doing it, you know, NA and EU teams were doing it. They were using add-ons, so we have to use add-ons. Okay, you know, whatever, who cares? Unnamed, that is the group name. And then Yoshi P came out. He basically said the same thing that he said before, you know, we don't condone third-party tools. Don't use third-party tools. If you use third-party tools, you'll be banned. Somebody already leaked the end cutscene for the fight. I haven't seen that at all on the internet. I heard about it and I read it that it was leaked, but I haven't seen it at all. So I think the community in general is just doing a good job hiding that from everyone. Because I haven't seen it at all on the internet, but I did read or heard about it. So he explains that. He says that, oh, you know, sorry about that. And then he closes it up saying like how disappointed he is that players have to use these third-party tools to beat the content, and that the content can be beaten because everyone in-house has already beaten it. And then we got another Reddit post saying that everyone who essentially was part of Unnamed got all their achievements and weapons redacted. They got taken. And that pretty much kind of sums it up for now. I thought this was just kind of a fun experience because it already happened once earlier in the year. Like we already went through it with the first Ultimate with add-ons and with cheatings. It's weird because I think most of the community agrees that having like the add-on see your DPS isn't bad. People aren't really mad about that. Well, some people are, but it isn't bad. To me, those are tools to make people better players. I wish people would use that and would spend time to master their rotation, get better at the game. To figure out, oh, my buff windows line up better here than here, or you know, I can be more considerate of this player if I do X or Y, or if I move here I get 2% DPS in game. To make them better players, I think Act is fine. I think seeing buff timers is fine. You know, it makes you a better player. It's quality of life stuff. But the zoom out cheating and stuff that gives you additional information to solve the puzzles, to beat the puzzles, to see where, you know, DPS or like, you know, big damage of like hit markers and AoEs and stuff like that lands first is bad. That's cheating. But then like abusing a bug, for example, I believe there was a bug with the current raid tier where some markers were getting passed around through the community, where they were marking places that didn't exist yet because someone just marked it at the end of the battle, I think, and saved it. And eventually they Square Enix addressed this and they fixed it and they added more markers for us. Again, that's a bug that the players were just abusing. Sure, that's perfectly fine. But zooming out is cheating. And you get to like WoW, right? And you get to how WoW runs their world first, where maybe these guys can abuse a bug on stream or something like that because all the big world first teams are streaming it, so everyone can see them and see and have visual proof that they are doing it, or you know, or not, is I think something Final Fantasy is gonna have to either adapt to, because 2 times in a row, you know, it would have been funny if this happened once this year and then again in the next expansion, but 2 back to back I think is really bad. And I think Square Enix may have to think about maybe running a raid in official passion, or at least, like, if they don't want to, the people who are running this event for charity on right now, where if you go and you watch the charity event, if they want to sponsor them and then they can do it officially, maybe that's the solution. Anyway, I thought this was really, really funny. I want to bring it up, talk about cheating, since I do talk about MMOs a fair bit on this channel, and Final Fantasy XIV is one of my favorite games. At the end of the day, I think play better. Like, honestly, it's crazy that how bad some of these players are in FF14, because we don't need add-ons like this, and don't want to become a game like World of Warcraft where we just keep getting better add-ons, and the developers keep getting harder and harder mechanics to combat those add-ons. I don't want that world. Anyway, this has been your host, Salty Waffles, signing off. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, ring that bell. Really helps me out. Check out our website. You can read some of our past articles on there as well. Leave a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Maybe I'm completely in the wrong. Maybe, you know, using a bug is cheating to you. Maybe, you know, this isn't a big deal to you. Maybe just all third-party software add-ons in general just should not be allowed at all. I would like to hear your thoughts on that. So this has been your host, Salty Waffles, signing off, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful